Hey friends, welcome. Thank you for stopping in. So these tattoos here, this modern boho pack, is what we're going to be using today as we are creating our pendants. So these tattoos, this pack came from Amazon, and it's where I get the majority of all of my temporary tattoos. They have so many to choose from. There's so many different price ranges. If you just go into the search, put in temporary tattoos, a ton will pop up. So honestly, I've tried many different ones from Amazon and I've yet to have a problem with any of them. So the reason why I like using temporary tattoos, it's like using a water slide paper and your image just stays in place. So now you have to remember that you've got to be able to put your image face down because it is a mirror image is what you see from on your tattoo. So what I did was I went in and I just found what little pictures that I wanted. I cut them out and I made sure that they fit in my little pendant molds the way I wanted them to. And now my pendant molds, I previously went in and just put a little bit of plain epoxy. So, like I said before, I like to keep some molds available so when I have extra epoxy, I can put some down in the molds. So with these, I only put a little bit in the bottoms to let that dry. That way I would have a place to put a decal. Now you can do stickers, you can do the tattoos like I did. This works out really, really nicely. So when you put the tattoos in, there's a plastic piece over the front. You take that off, you put them down where you want them. And then I took my finger, wet the backs of them, and rubbed them in really, really well. And then I used some tweezers, lifted up the backs, and voila, my pictures are all in place. Now, before you put any epoxy over top of this, you do want to make sure that it is completely dry. And there you can see the starfish. But you want to make sure that they're completely dry because remember, water and epoxy do not mix. So you definitely want to make sure they're completely dry before you go any further. So now what I'm doing, I have some gold paint and I have like a blue metallic paint. And I'm just going in and kind of dabbing a little bit of paint in places that I want to. I'm doing this very lightly, but of course, you can paint, not paint, whatever you want with these. But for me, I wanted to add a little bit of gold and a little bit of blue because these pendants are sea life, like the beach or ocean types of pendants. So I'm using my gold and my blue. And I just go in and apply my paint where I want it. And this comes out really nice. So another thing that you can use on the backs of these pendants like this is nail polish. Nail polish works really, really well. I have noticed, like, I've used some cheaper nail polish before and it works. However, a nicer quality nail polish really does look better, like OPI or something like that. So anyways, I'm just, finishing up the painting. And then after I finish painting these, then I will let it dry just a little bit. And then I will go in, and I say a little bit because I'm not putting much paint on them. And then I will go in and finish it up with resin. So you can see I'm just kind of showing you where I put just a light amount of paint there. Oh, so these earrings, what I did was I took my paintbrush and I just kind of splotted down with the tip of it to make this like web type of appearance. So on the silicone and these earrings, there's no epoxy in them yet. And with the silicone, if you first just sort of dab it, your paint will spread. And that's the look that I was going for with these. Now, if you want it to be solid, you're going to go in and paint over it again and until it's nice and solid and it will pick up the paint. However, I wanted this web look to this and you'll see it looks so good under the epoxy. And so now I'm just going in and adding my epoxy over my pendants and trying not to go over the sides. You know, sometimes it's really hard because I work with my epoxy very slowly to keep out any bubbles and make nice clear epoxy. And so sometimes it's hard to actually tell when you're up to the rim or not. So, you know, but I do try and go in and clean off anything, you know, that does get over the rim. So, but try not to get up over the rim if you can help it because it definitely makes a mess. And then I had a little bit of epoxy left. So I'm just going in and putting a small amount in the bottoms of some of these other pendant molds so that I have it available. So now my epoxy has set about 12 hours and I'm going to go ahead and pull it out. So the reason why I pull it out here instead of letting it get completely hard is it's much easier to trim off with scissors if you have just a little bit of epoxy over your sides. And then also I like to put it on a real hard surface and make sure that they're nice and flat. And if you want to mold something into a particular shape, this is a good time that you can do that. So here you can see these turned out really, really cute. And here are the earrings. These little guys turned out super cute. You'll get a better view of them here in just a minute after I let them sit, because I'm going to let them sit, you know, about another 12 hours before I put any, you know, earring hardware in them. But these all came out really, really cute. I'm super happy with them. So we'll let them sit another 12 hours and then we'll come back to them. Hey friends, all right, so these guys here are done. Now I haven't done any like sanding or polishing on these. You know, of course, if I need to, I will. So after I took them out of the mold, I did let them sit another 12 hours. One of the reasons that I myself, you know, everybody has their own way, but I myself like to take them out of the mold and, you know, once they're hard but still pliable. And the reason for that is because, you know, it's a little bit easier at that point to take off, you know, like any little edges and stuff like that that you have. That's what I have found. All right, so I'm gonna just put a little earring on here. I like to also, like, on these little pieces like this, once I get them together, I personally like to, I put a little bit of UV resin on them and put them under the light where they're enclosed so that they don't, the enclosure never comes undone. Make sure I'm in the thing. So look how pretty that turned out. So cute. And I love how that paint kind of veins in there like that. Now, all these like little jewelry pieces you can get on Amazon. That's where I've gotten all of mine. And there's so many different options. I would just, you know, kind of put in the search bar what you're looking for, and so much will come up. There's lots of options. I feel like a lot of that stuff actually comes from AliExpress, either through them or other people that buy it from there and then sell it. The problem with AliExpress is, you know, right now I'm not sure, you know, how that's working with the pandemic and everything, but also it takes a long time for things to come. I did that one a little too hard. And there's that one. So these are straight out of the mold without anything even having to be done with them. And they actually look really pretty good straight out of the mold. I might go in and, you know, do a little bit on the inside, but there's not really much of anything to do to them, so they look good. And there's your earrings. And then these, again, I haven't done anything with them. Oh, and this little guy here is from the Dollar Tree. And basically it's just a needle or a thin nail inside a piece of plastic. So I had actually, before I started finding these there, because, and sometimes they don't have them, I made a similar thing to this. It was super easy. So sometimes I make like planters and stuff out of cement, but you can buy cement super inexpensive and you can mix it up in the amounts that you want. So I used to take straws and I'd cut them in half and put cement down in them and then stick a nail like this in the top, so the top was pointing out, let them dry, take the straw off. Sometimes I'd even leave the straw on. And I would have the same type of little tool. These don't even need me to stick the thing through. So this is, I wanted to show you, you know, you can pick up, you know, you can paint on the acrylic as well as, you know, remember this one was picking up the paint. So there was no, I said acrylic, I meant epoxy. There was no epoxy in it prior to painting. So we painted straight on the silicone for that one. Now, if you wanted this to be solid, you absolutely can. And I've done some coasters that I'm going to be showing you. You just have to go over it a few times, but it can pick it up solid as well. And then, you know, with the little tattoo decals on there. So there's my little star. And my little fish. Some more fish. Little crab. And then these, of course, you know, you can use these in so many different ways. So you can make a necklace out of them. You can put them on keychains. You know, you can use chain, or, you know, you can use like a rope, or, you know, like a little leather tie. This isn't really made for going through this stuff, so it doesn't go through as easy. But this, I just want to show you, like, if you were using like a rope or a leather, you would just do the little knot through and then, you know, put your little hooks on there. Of course, this isn't rope for doing necklaces, but I just wanted to show you. So I thought these were, you know, cute with the little sea things. I'll probably, you know, use them to put them on with keychains that I do. You know, you could even, and I may even, so like some of these I have to do the edges, like use your Cricut and like put their name really small. So, but anyways, I just wanted to show you these little things. These are my favorite. I'm definitely going to use these. These are so cute. All right. Hey, listen, I hope you guys have a great rest of the day. I hope this was helpful. And if you like the video, please give it a big thumbs up. Take care, friends. Bye.